Hello everyone, Coach Carol with you on another of my series of video tutorials in revamping our genealogy projects. And I'm once again using the newest member of my Ultimate AI squad, which is Abacus AI. I'm going to step through a process today that enabled me to analyze some documents using various tools in Abacus AI. But first of all, I asked for Claude in that Abacus AI to present me with a little case study where I could drill down into the process for using an AI tool in the best possible way for analysing old records, old documents. I'm going to share my screen with you in a moment, but I'm going to cover the steps that Claude came up with in going through this process of document analysis. And it will include step 1, which would be an initial analysis. So, for example, we may wish to analyse a census record that we have in our folders and just ask it to provide a summary of the key information. The second step would be to ask for more specific details. So you could ask it to list all the individuals in the household with names, ages, relationships, and so on. Step 3 could be clarification and verification. And the prompt could be something like, the age for that ancestor seems unusual given the ages of the children. Can you double check her age and confirm the handwriting? And step 4 would be additional context, where you might ask the question, are there any unusual or noteworthy details in this census record? So let me take you across now to Abacus and show you, sharing the screen with you. And here I've uploaded one of the census documents I have for my family tree. It's the 1901 UK census. And I'm just using GPT-4o for this task and began with that simplistic prompt. Please analyse this 1901 UK census record and provide a summary of the key information, which it has done below. It says correctly that this is a census record for Samuel John Allery and provides key information such as location, household members, some of which it did not get right, so we'll come to that, and any additional notes. And then it asks whether I want to go any further. So what I did next was ask it to correct itself with the information that I knew to be true, especially to help it with that unclear handwriting. So I put in the details that I knew were missing from its first response. And it has now included all of that correctly. So I have the household members correctly named with their relationship, their age, and where they were born. And once again, ask if I would like to go further. And yes, I do. And in this case, I'm going to ask it to look at this 1911 census that I have just uploaded into its memory. And the prompt this time is, are there any unusual or noteworthy details in this census record that might provide additional insights about the family or the time? Let us activate that. And the first thing it does is it analyzes the documents. And it has 2 in its memory, but we're asking specifically about 1911. Go back. I didn't specify 1911, so it's given me information about the 1901, and it's given me some occupational insights, the age and generational gap, geographical movement, and the large family size. Let me try that prompt for 6 and see. I'll just grab that, copy it in here. Let's say the 1911 census. And just in case, I'll upload it once again from the computer. And activate. So it goes ahead and analyzes the document. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. So it's looking now at the 1911 UK census record, and it reveals the following. Once again, occupational diversity. But now it shows that his sons are involved in various trades in engineering and clerical work. I'll give you a close-up of the actual document in a moment. Then it looks at the household composition and says that Jemima, his wife, and their children live there. And I do know that Jemima was his second wife, and so all the sons mentioned in that census are actually hers. Marital details and geographical information. So it makes a comment here under marital details, the number of children born to them, 6, with 5 still living. This was a feature in the 1911 census that wasn't in the others. And it shows us, in this case, a glimpse into family life and the child mortality rates during the early 20th century. And so there we have it. We've got a bit of an analysis happening for that census. But I'd like it now to provide me with a list of those people on the 1911 census in tabular format. And making sure that we ask for it in tabular format. You could go even further and say what you wanted as headings for the columns, but let's see what it will do with that. I'm still using GPT-4o for the task. Once again, it's analysing the document and then brings us a table. And because we've had that little bit of iteration with the tool, it's now giving me a much more accurate snapshot for the census and giving me the right spellings of the names, etc., that I've helped it to correct along the way. And of course, in the 1911 occupation, we see various occupations for the sons of Jemima and Samuel. So if you wanted to then have a view of the census that is a summary of, you click into the view of the document and it pops it up for you in a preview format, and you can scroll and expand and look closely at the details. So the handwriting is okay. We can read that quite well. So it's a family of Samuel, age 62, Jemima, age 58, and their sons, Dave, 24, Benjamin, 21, Sydney, 18, Ernest, 16, Edward, 12, I think, and Frank, Joseph, Andrew, Valerie is 20. Out of order there, but that's okay. And then if we scroll across, we see that it's incorrectly listed the number of children still living. It's 6 and 6. There were no deaths in early infancy for this family, luckily. Then it gives you a little more detail of the occupations. And notice it says decorator here, painter, labourer, kitchen boy, school, and tailor. And gives their birthplaces. And I think right at the end of the 19, you actually see the signature of the head of the household. So this family was living there in that commercial road in Peckham, it was in the UK. So then you can close it and you can look back at what it has responded with, and then you can help it correct it as well. So where it's got grocer for Dave, that really should have been decorator. So there's just been some little errors there that it hasn't picked up on. But it's a useful tool. If you then wanted to go ahead and compare the way different tools would do the same job, you would switch at the top. First of all, I'd go to a new chat. Then I would switch to another tool, which is Claude. Then upload similar document. Let's just upload the 1911 census once again. And let's see how it goes with this. I've chosen the 1911 census because this is the one that clearly showed just the one family on the one document. It's easy for it to decipher. See how it goes with that. So now we're using Claude. It will go through the same process, analysing the document, gives you, or gives me, the tabular information, some of which is not quite right. That should be Jemima, not Louisa. And these names are nowhere near the ones that are actually in that document. So it's really not done a very good job for Claude. So by doing it this way, we're actually analysing which of the tools you would use for specific tasks, depending on how well they perform. So I might go to another tool and do the same thing with, say, Gemini. Analysing documents is a really important part of what you might use Abacus tools for. Then right at the end, are there any unusual or noteworthy details in the census record that might provide additional insights? Let's go back. Moving things around on my board here. This time I'll go back to the one that we did a moment ago from chat row, change it back to chat row. And specifically, we want it to now provide any unusual or noteworthy details in the 1911 census. And see how it goes with that. So you keep using the tool in small steps, which will help it and you to decipher and analyse and come up with plausible reasons. So what it's saying here is the occupational variety shown here reflects the economic opportunities and the occupational shifts of time. Marital and family details. And this one notes that they've been married for 30 years, have 6 children, but still remembering that it's incorrectly deciphering that only 5 were still living. Extended family living. The household includes multiple family members living together. And for geographical movement, the birthplaces of family members from Devon for various parts of London, such as migration patterns and the family's movement within the UK, which is all true. So you're getting different perspectives of your family through the census by asking for analyses using the tools in Abacus AI. So I do hope you can get some success with yours. You can see here from what I've been up to today that I've been doing quite a bit of work. It organises everything in this navigation list by the date. You can see that there was some done yesterday and some a few days ago and so on, up to the first time when I used Abacus, which was back on September the 7th. And what a difference 10 days can make in one's explorations. But I will be back with more. I hope you're enjoying this brief overview of the way in which you can make the best use of Abacus.ai.